This is CEOP, MrRockTheMicNews.com, Mr. Pick of the Week, every Sunday on 103 Jams, 9 p.m. with your boy DJ Jack of Spade, and it's the Hot Topic Phoneaview. And who I got on the phone right now, you might have been seeing the flyer buzzing on the internet. I'm sure you heard of BME Presents, the television show, the label, but you guys ain't never heard nothing or any representation from a label owner or anybody as far as doing this VA Unity industry mixer. Nobody's never spoke on it. I'm sure there's been a lot of social network talk about it, but we're going to get it from a boss, man. I got Vince Beats on the phone right now. Vince, what's good with you, homie?
What's up, homie? You know, just cooling out, you know, grinding, the same thing, you know, pretty much putting in that work trying to get this mixer prepared and, you know, work in the studio. You know,
absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the mixer now. If I'm an artist, let them know some of the benefits of the mixer and let them know the goal of the mixer, because I'm not sure everybody outside looking in understands it fully. They might think it's just an event to get money. They might think, you know, you guys are just got people performing for no reason and you put Unity on it just to draw attention. Clear the air and let them know what the purpose is, bro.
Okay, so basically, you know, within myself, what a lot of people get confused, you know, is that, yes, I am a promoter, but I am a producer first. So, member of the Virginia music industry. You know, so when I thought of doing the mixer, my main thing was trying to improve the industry in the area, trying to find a way to where I can bring artists, producers, you know, videographers, video personnel, you know, media members such as yourself, and everybody together to where, you know, we can come together and strengthen our industry. Because, you know, strength in numbers is always where it's at.
Absolutely.
You know, you got one man making moves over here, one man making moves over here, and another man making moves over here. You know, that doesn't really benefit as much as everybody moving together. You know,
now,
so,
tell them a little bit. It might. I'm sure it's too late to actually get involved at the event now. But for somebody that wants to be involved in a VA Unity industry mixer, what do they have to do? What are they expected to do? Get into that, man, and how can they contact you?
Okay, well, you know, first off, you know, I don't mind giving my number out to anybody. So the number one thing that you can do is you can give me a phone call at 757-717-4200. And if you want to get involved, and that's from any aspect. If you're an artist, you want to perform. If you're a producer and, you know, you want to get involved with the producer showcase, or you are, you know, basically anybody, a business that wants to showcase what you have going on, a model, a clothing line, you know, just give me a call and we can definitely discuss where you fit in. That's, you know, pretty much how it works. Or myself or Misty, you know, shout out to Misty Lee, my partner on this event.
Definitely, man. Shout out to Misty. Tell them a little bit about the company BME, man, and the BME Presents television show. How did you hook up with them, and you know, let them know about the brand, because they you know, they're not educated, man. I think they see the logo everywhere and they see the TV show everywhere, but they don't really know who's behind it.
Okay. Well, you know, BME is a company. It actually stands for Battle Music and Entertainment. And it was actually started by a guy named Paul Battle. And he brought me also two other producers. Shout out to my homie, Sprite Dookie Williams, who's also worked under the Teddy Riley camp, as well as Stroke Brown from Portsmouth, and myself in. And, you know, pretty much we've been orchestrating this thing and putting it together. And, you know, one of the things that we thought about doing to kind of, you know, one, get publicity, but at the same time be able to reach out to local entities and artists around here, was starting the television show, which is called BME Presents. You know, and pretty much it's a variety show where, you know, we take, you know, members of the independent music industry, because I don't like to say local, bro. You know,
Yeah, I hate, I'm glad you said that. I hate the word local. Local makes you sound like you're just starting, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Where we take members of the independent music industry as well as our artists, and we actually broadcast them live in 9 different television markets. All the way from
That's
West
important.
Virginia.
Hold on, man. You got to pause when you say that, man. How many markets are you guys in?
Oh, yeah, 9 television markets. And the funny thing, and there's no diss or no shot at anybody, but it's always funny to me that everybody and their mama got a television show, but none of them come on TV. Everybody got TV.
Shots fired. Man down, somebody's in the corner.
but pretty much, like, we air in West Virginia all the way down to South Carolina. And like I said, the main thing
let them know when they could see the joint. Let them know when they can see the joint when it comes on. Flood them with the info, baby.
Okay, pretty much. We come on here in Hampton Roads at 12 midnight on Saturday on Sky TV4, which is Channel 4 and Cox Cable. And in Richmond, which is, also a Virginia market, we come on the CW. And pretty much most of the other areas, we're on the CW with the exception of Charlotte. On Charlotte, we're on Channel 65, and, I'm sorry, I can't really remember the name of the network that they're sponsored by. I think it's NBC, which is Channel 65 out there. And, like I said, the main thing that we're trying to do is not only create exposure for our own artists, but other artists around here, and what we do is we mix them with celebrities. We go out, we interview celebrities. We also interview independent artists. And another thing that we have booming is our independent artist countdown. We
so you count down videos?
Oh, yeah, definitely. What we do is anybody that wants to submit their video, they can go to www.bmepresents.com, which is our web page. You can find out the info, how to nominate someone. And what we do is we pick 10 nominations every week. We put them up on the web page, and you can go vote. And we take the top 5 vote getters. There's no bias at all. If you get the number 1 vote getter, then you're the number 1 video for the week. And, we basically, we air those videos as long as it's clean and, it's nothing, because it's public television. You can't cook crack and nothing like that up there.
Do you, 2 questions. One, do you interview the artists as well? And then 2.
In some cases, yes. And some, like, a lot of times, we'll try to get our spotlight artists. If you're the number 1 vote getter, you've won 2, 3 weeks in a row, we'll try to request an interview with you, like on our couch, on our set.
Okay.
So, and also shout out to Shannon GJ, who's our host. She's doing big things. If you haven't heard of her, definitely go look her up. She's beautiful and talented. Like I said, definitely shout out to her. And, like I said, pretty much, if you're an artist and you're looking to get involved with the television show, you can definitely hit up BMEpresents.com.
Now, let's talk about why we still on this intermittent videos. You know what I'm saying? Now, you broke it down from the artist perspective. What if you have a situation where you have a label and, they basically want to market through you guys? I mean, you guys have packages involved as far as, let's say they got an artist, he's trending, he's doing this thing, and the label wants to, see if they can get a package, maybe a package that'll include a commercial, what I'm saying, maybe a video look, and possibly an interview. Are you guys open to that, or is the nomination process the only way you can go?
No, definitely. I mean, for situations like that, what I would tell you to do is hit us up on bmepresents@gmail.com. I repeat, bmepresents@gmail.com. Basically send us an email. I check the email daily. If you have a situation like that, you can definitely hit us up and we can talk business.
Well, look, man, give them your number one more time. You didn't plug the date yet. Let them know when the VA mix is. Let them know how it can get tickets. And plug your number 180 times so they know who to call.
All right, definitely. Well, again, my telephone number is 757-717-4200. Anybody looking to get involved, like I said, in any aspect, you definitely give me a telephone call on that number. And the event itself is this week, which is October the 10th on Thursday. You know, it starts at 7. There's actually a meet and greet, 6:30. But, you know, like I said, I would encourage everybody to come out. There's a free buffet. There's a red carpet event.
Free buffet is always good.
Oh yeah. You know, I feel. You know what's so crazy, man? You know why I do the buffet, man? Because I feel like, you know, people in Virginia, we have this such a, you know, a crab in the barrel mentality that the only way I can get people to come out and unite is to sound crazy, but it's got to feed them.
yeah, that's very true. Nah, it don't sound crazy. It sounds delicious.
Look, I gotta get
it sounds like I ain't got to buy no dinner that night, and I could come down there and eat. You know what I mean? I don't have to purchase no dinner that night. I could come down and eat. You know what I'm saying? You take buffet, you can eat. What time is it open? 6?
No,
6?
well,
I might be at the door at 5:45.
You know, look, and you can come out, and my homie right here, CEO, he'll be here. You know.
Oh, yeah, so man, hit us up, man. Hit us up.
Get some interviews on that red carpet, along with a few other, you know, media sources. BME Presents, I believe, Drinking on Sunday. Shout out to them.
Shout out to Drinking on Sunday. They out here real heavy, man. Shout out to them.
Bad Magazine, also, who I did an interview for a couple weeks back. You know, definitely will be on the red carpet conducting interviews. So,
nice.
You know, it's going to be major. Like the last one, you know, we're at
I heard y'all packed it out.
8 o'clock. Oh, yeah.
I heard y'all packed it out. I heard it was 3 stages. I heard it was stupid. Had models.
Yes. Everything.
Listen, for the fellas, are there models at this one?
Oh, yeah. You got to bring the models out. And it's going to be raffles, man. So, you know, pretty much like I said, I try to put on for the people. You know, one thing about me is when I plan an event, you know, I try to make sure that everybody can enjoy themselves and they can feel like they got something out of it, other than, you know, feeling like I just took their money.
Right. Now, speaking of money, you know, artists really don't want to know. We ain't getting to that. What does an artist have to do to be involved? Or would you rather them call you directly? However you want to handle that question. You know what I mean?
I got you. You know, like I said, I'll keep it real. You know, one thing that I did with this, you know, for a caliber of event like this, you know, I felt like, you know, for an artist to perform, they had to be able to show that, you know, you could basically have 10 fans show up. If you're an artist and you're performing at an event like this, red carpet, free buffet, models walking around everywhere.
Models. Click clack.
Models, you know, everything. I felt like, you know, being able to sell 10 tickets was fair. You know, and what I did was I broke bread with the artists this time. I gave them the opportunity to sell 15 tickets and you keep the money. You know, you keep the extra 5. And, you know, and that was for to be able to perform in the red carpet room. Now, also, you know, we have the main stage. You know, for those artists, those are the ones with the bigger fan bases. You know, I required them to sell 20 tickets. So everybody's spot is free. Nobody paid for a spot. You sold tickets.
But you got to earn your spot by getting your fans out there.
Exactly. And like I said, that actually gives everybody the opportunity to be exposed to new people.
Listen,
you know, rather than the same shows with the same people, you know, I feel like that's kind of whack, personally.
You listen, you know what? While you're on that point, let me chime in and just tell everybody why that's so important. See, the artists that are saying that you're rocking in front of artists in these different situations, even at big shows like this, because I'm sure, Vince, you don't have to tell me, we can talk off the record. I'm sure people probably just, some of you guys that don't have fans, just pay for the tickets right out. We're just going to pay Vince the money that he needs and come. This is why it's a disservice, because Vince has 20, 30 groups. However, man, big stage, small stage, whatever, if you bring 10 fans, if all them 20 people bring 10, just 10, say just 10, because he got dudes on there that could bring 20. That is
Exactly.
just 200 people that are getting exposed to this movement.
Exactly. Not only
That
to
is-
the movement, but to your music as an artist.
Right.
You know
And
what I mean?
then, let's say everybody, what you said, brings their 10 fans. Guess what? I'm sure it's a good 100 people out of them 10 fans that you don't know. It
Exactly.
gotta be a good 100, because I'm sure Vince is out
Exactly.
here everywhere. It's probably P-Town, Chesapeake, Newport. There's groups coming from
It's
all
deeper than
over,
that,
so you
bro.
can't
I
say
got Delaware coming, which, you know, is a Virginia
Delaware.
thing. But I got Delaware coming,
Come on,
Charlottesville,
out of town. See?
Richmond. You know, and
Come
it's
on.
funny because the people from out of town, you know, they're just as excited as the in-town people, you know, here locally in the 757.
Because they're hungry to get in this market, man.
Yes,
Vince.
man. Look, shout out to my homie Troy Purnell from Delaware. He's actually spoke to me about bringing 35 people down here. So I'm like, I hope
Wow.
you show all the people that live right around the corner.
Listen, this is all I'm going to say since you said that. VA, don't let out-of-towners do you in your own hometown turf, man. Don't let these out-of-towners bring more people than you bringing and come in here and take over the market. You know what I mean? That's all we going to
Please don't
tell
do
y'all.
that.
Vince, man, it's been great, man. I appreciate you taking time out to talk to RockTheMicNews.com, man, and let the
Definitely,
people
man.
know what's
Shout out to
going
Rock
on
the
with
Mic,
this
man.
event. I appreciate it, man. Anytime y'all have anything, we support and vice versa, man. We appreciate the support y'all doing y'all end, man. Look, y'all, Thursday, VA Unity event. One more time, Vince, because you know they kind of slow. Give them the number.
Look, October 10th, Thursday, 7 o'clock, be there. If you got any questions, you give me a call at 757-717-4200. And I just want to give one last shout-out to my homie Black, Cocky Music. Also,
Oh, yeah, that's my man, bro. Vakila, man. Shout out to
look,
Black.
we will
He's very
be
outspoken.
Vakila, man. So definitely, man, you got to get there early, man.
Yeah, he's very, very outspoken, especially when he's off the Vakila. That's
You
my
already
man.
know.
Shout out to Black, man. Look, Vince, we out of here, man. Rock the Mic News, man. We'll see y'all on Thursday, man.
All right, man. That's what it is.